Okay, guys, I have something for you. Darlene sent this to me, so I figured I'd share it with you guys. This is from the Long Island, New York Newsday. It says, alleged MS-13 member charged with murder after human remains found in East Meadow. Nassau police say Carlos Benitez-Hernandez, 21 years old, of Uniondale, and at least 4 others took part in the August 13th, 2007 slaying. So I guess it took them this long to figure this out. It was updated August 31st. So this is the newest information. A self-admitted MS-13 member pleaded not guilty Thursday to a murder charge, with authorities alleging he and others in the gang viciously and barbarically welded machetes into the 2017 killing of an unidentified male whose remains were discovered Wednesday in East Meadow. Carlos Benitez-Hernandez, 21, of Uniondale, appeared briefly in Hempstead District Court for an arraignment where Judge Elizabeth Fox McDuff, I think it's McDunough or McDuff, remanded him back into custody without bail. Nassau police say Benitez, Hernandez, and at least 4 other members of the crime syndicate with ties to El Salvador took part in the August 13, 2017 slaying in Slump East of Meadowbrook State Park. The 4 other alleged suspects, whom authorities have yet to publicly identify, are already in court or federal custody. According to the police, DNA testing will be performed to determine the identity of the victim, authorities say. Acting on a tip, law enforcement officials recovered the victim's body Wednesday amid thick brush in a shallow grave south of Glen Curtis Boulevard near Kellenberg Memorial High School. Investigators made their way through bramble to locate the remains of the victim, who police say was in his late teens or early 20s. The discovery came after a joint probe by Nassau authorities, the Federal Department of Homeland Security, and the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. Benitez-Hernandez acted in concert with others at about 11 p.m. on the night in question to intentionally kill the victim by striking him numerous times with a sharp cutting instrument believed to be a machete, according to court complaint. An attorney from Nassau Legal Aid Society represented Benitez-Hernandez in court as a Spanish-speaking translator, relayed the proceedings to him. Police said he is from El Salvador, came to United States through Texas, and was already in federal custody on immigration detainer before his arrest Tuesday. Police wouldn't say what led them to the Benitez-Hernandez arrest before the recovery of the victim's remains. They said he had been released on parole just prior to the victim's killing and had spent 3 years behind bars. He has a violent criminal history with weapons, gang assault, intimidating of victims, said Detective Lieutenant Stephen Fitzpatrick, head of the Nassau County Police Department's Homicide Squad. Fitzpatrick and Benitez-Hernandez is a self-admitted MS-13 member. Prosecutor Jared Rosenblatt asked the judge to keep Benitez-Hernandez behind bars without bail. The defendant viciously and barbarically attacked another person, killing him, Rosenblatt said at the arraignment. MS-13 members lured the victim into the woods with the motive likely relating to gang displeasure with his actions within the group or something that they felt was disrespectful to them or a threat to them, Fitzpatrick said, which is, he's speculating really because they don't really know why. Since 2016, there have been 10 homicides attributed to the MS-13 in Nassau County, including 6 cases where the bodies of victims were found buried, police said Thursday. MS-13 alleged East Coast leader is behind bars in Nassau County Jail following a January indictment charging 17 suspected members or associated of the gang with crimes ranging from murder and drug trafficking to conspiracy and weapons possession. A grand jury in July indicted an 18-year-old man from Freeport on murder charges in July 2017. Machete slaying of a 15-year-old from Roosevelt, whose body authorities found buried in cement 3 months after his disappearance. 4 defendants are now charged in the alleged MS-13 killing. President Donald Trump, who has blamed gang violence and other crime on illegal immigration, described some Long Island neighborhoods as blood-stained killing fields that are under siege and need to be liberated from MS-13 during a July 2017 appearance in Brentwood, Long Island. Earlier this week, Governor Andrew M. Cuomo announced Long Island schools and groups would be getting an extra $8.3 million in state grants, after-school job training and placement programs in an effort to discourage young people from joining MS-13 and other gangs. Now, is this $8.3 million going to turn into the 19 or 18 million that the Bronx was promised for our community and to help lead young people away from gangs? I don't know. Once again, we see someone who had a vicious criminal background, a person who was dangerous, was known to be dangerous, and once again was let back out onto the streets, okay, to do this again. So it just seems like this is just a reoccurring thing, and it's just getting worse by the day. I don't understand really why police and the FBI and all this have yet to get control of these things, and the only obvious answer to that is what? They're fucking corrupt alongside these people. So, you know, it just doesn't end. You know, people say they want, you know, that Long Island is a safe place, is a nice place. There is some really nice places on Long Island, but as far as I'm concerned, Long Island right now is turning into, or has been, just as iffy as the Bronx is at this point. People are moving out of the Bronx and going to, you know, going to Long Island, hoping for a better life, and basically just finding the same shit over there. And being that, of course, he's in this country legally, so you know that's going to be brought up, and that's going to be a factor. You know, these people are coming in here illegally, and they're killing people, and they're creating crime, and just, you know, they're not what we would consider people we'd want here in America. So it's, you know, I'm not going to say that Donald Trump is 100% right for how he feels about illegal immigrants, but I am going to say that he does have a point in certain aspects of that. And I want people to realize that it's not about getting rid of good citizens and citizens who obey the law and, you know, live out their life here without ever getting into an altercation or, you know, actually contribute to society. I think he's definitely more gearing towards shit like this. They can kill somebody and bury them, but they need somebody to translate English to them. So they're here, but yet they still don't want to learn English, but yet they know how to find a machete and they know how to kill somebody. So it's really like, you know what I mean? Just retarded, if you ask me. You know, and once again, what a machete. You know, like, where, like, do people realize that, what kind of, just what's around us in general? We really, really need to really get with it, people. And, like, I mean, these people are finding bodies, dismembered bodies, bodies here, bodies there, don't even know who these people are. These people could have been, you know, like, it's just nuts. It's nuts. And here it says that the person was lured the victim into the woods. Okay, number one, I don't know if I would go into the woods with a gang and think that I'd be safe.
Congratulations.
But that's just me. So I don't really know. I mean, it says here that they lured this teen into the wooded area in August 2017 under false sense of security near the East Meadow. Other detectives say the victim was stabbed, slashed, and hacked to death and buried in a 1.5 foot deep grave. Victim's identity has yet to be disclosed pending results of a DNA test. And like I said, Benitez has a violent past, and it's specifically bringing that up once again. And once again, he was out on the street to do this along with a bunch of other people. And, you know, now we have this poor kid to identify, and, you know, another family lost a child, another family lost a sister, a brother, a son, you know, who knows? And now we just got to sit and wait and see who this person was, and hopefully a family will be able to get closure, because they probably either have this as a missing persons or they just didn't know what happened to them. So let's hope this brings some kind of closure to the family and some kind of awareness to the Long Island community. Yes, Long Island is nice. Yes, there are beautiful parts of Long Island, but please, people, realize that this shit is going on in Long Island. Okay? It's not going on, it's not just the 5 boroughs. It's Long Island too. So you guys need to be careful, and you guys need to teach your kids about the shit that's going on, okay? You are no safer there than you are on Bathgate Avenue in the Bronx. This shit is everywhere. So just keep that in mind, people. Never underestimate where you live, and never underestimate the people who live there, or people who are moving in, because you have no idea of their background, where they're from, what they've done, etc., etc. So just keep that in mind when you sit there and go, not my neighborhood, you know, not my block, not my city, not... This shit's happening all over. So let's just keep that in mind. Anyway, thank you guys for listening, and thank you, Darlene, for this information, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Any questions or comments or any information that you guys may know, please leave it below in the comments, and I will check it accordingly. Thanks. Okay, guys. I have something for you. Darlene sent this